Good afternoon, everyone. Honorable Minister, all protocol observed. Honorable Minister, all protocol observed. I also acknowledge all professional bodies who are represented here. Is it better now? Okay, I'll start. Good afternoon, everyone. I acknowledge the Honorable Minister, the Registrar General, captains of industry, our donor partners, professional bodies, officials from GIZ, and Imani, the media, all protocol observed. This afternoon's reform is one of the important reforms that we can talk about as a country. And the reason I consider this the most important is because Ghana and Kenya became the first countries to have ratified and deposited the instrument of ratification of the African Continental Free Trade on the 10th of May 2018 with the AU. Ghana was one of the foremost countries in the formation of the Organization of African Unity, now AU. In a number of the protocols and charters, Ghana is always either number one, among the first, or so. But on the continent, and for the subject matter we are coming to talk about this afternoon, Ghana is not in the top 5 in terms of creating the enabling environment when it comes to challenges with business registration, regulation, and in the literature, one is likely to come across the idea that we often use regulation in Ghana as a hammer and treat everything else as a nail, rather than packaging regulation as an enabler to support business growth. To borrow or to stand on the legs of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah when he said that the independence of Ghana is meaningless unless it is linked with the total liberation of the African continent. I want to say this afternoon that Ghana hosting the AFCFTA Secretariat is meaningless unless it is linked to the general improvement of the business environment that guarantees private sector leadership. We do know that signing on to the AFCFTA will come along with some fiscal losses because of the tariff liberalizations. The only way we could offset the shortfall in the revenue is to empower our private sector by creating that enabling environment that enables them to maximize their growth potentials within the AFCFTA. Given the adverse distributional effect of COVID-19, where risk has become riskier, the minimum government can do is to ease the constraints, including bureaucratic red tape such as complex procedures and processes when registering their businesses or property, and the tendency to use regulation as a constraint rather than as an enabler to doing business. These and many other reasons are the reasons why the 5th GIZ Imani Reform Dialogue has been devoted to examining the key bottlenecks to business registration and identify ways to minimize its effect. To also explore areas that technological improvements have been used to make business registration and regulation more efficient, less costly, and timely, as well as examining the challenges in property registration and how they can be improved. And lastly, exploring ways to improve the business insolvency framework and other judicial reforms. It is the understanding of the GIZ and Imani dialogue that this dialogue will lead to policy and administrative reforms that puts Ghana among the first countries on the continent in the same way that we were the first 2 countries to have lodged our instrument of ratification. We must be clear what constitutes enabling business environment. And oftentimes, this is a phrase that has been abused. What is it that really constitutes enabling environment? What is that animal called enabling environment? What are the indicators? So that when we arrive, we will know that, yes, we have created that enabling environment. Shall we say, when interest rates are coming down, would that mean enabling environment? At what level of interest rate would it support our businesses to compete? We must be clear on that target. What level of inflation will be supportive? What number of days should it take someone to register a business? We must be clear on these targets, so we are all working towards that. And this must be done with clear, trackable indicators to guide private sector, which is tagged as the job creation capacity of the economy. To this extent, the partnership between GIZ and Imani aims to carry out 6 different policy dialogues. So far, we've done 4 of them. The first one took place on the 26th of November 2020 under the theme Challenges and Opportunities Created by COVID-19 Pandemic for Ghanaian Businesses. The second dialogue was also held on March 16, 2021 under the theme What the African Continental Free Trade Means for Ghanaian Businesses. The third dialogue took place on March 12, 2021, focusing on business taxation and the road to Ghana's post-COVID economic recovery. The fourth dialogue was also held on July 21, 2021, on the theme Access to Affordable Energy to Support Economic Growth and Job Creation in Ghana. And this afternoon's own is devoted to business registration, regulation, property rights, and its impact on Ghanaian business climate. And the last policy dialogue will be on corruption, and we'll certainly trace it from the days of Adam to now and continuing. Thank you very much.